Hey Kumba, how are you? I was going through the capstone preceptor guide, and the thing that I want to focus on with you is where is it now? Here it is. So here it mentions to have the alignment of the capstone activities with one or more of your BSPH program competencies, and actually down in the checklist it's even more than that. It says um, meet with the student to determine projects and timeline match with a minimum of 2 to 4 BSPH competencies, at least 2 foundational and 1 specialization, and they provide the link which I checked out, and you can go to as well if you haven't been recently. But then you've got your competencies there. Oh, that's right. I was a little jumping around to find them, but then I did. So you've got your competencies here and your specialization competencies. So what I want you to do is I want you to create a proposal for me, a written proposal of how you're going to use the manifestation process um, to fulfill the competencies that you're choosing. And so basically, you're going to choose a vision, and I should have pulled this up in advance. Let me pause the recording here for a moment. Okay, so basically what you're going to do is just like you saw in the most recent video that you watched, you are going to use a worksheet like this. So I'll send you the worksheet where you're going to create a vision, and you're going to focus on who the providers are that you need to work with to fulfill that vision. So are these providers other students? Are they professors? Are they public health officials? Are they Department of Public Health employees? Are they nonprofit organizations? Like, for whatever vision you choose, you'll have to figure out who you're going to need to connect with in order to fulfill that vision. Now, here's the thing. The vision that you're going to choose should be something that you can either fulfill or make material progress on before the end of your capstone. And also, the time that you're going to devote to this specific project or vision, I think you should imagine to be on average somewhere between 25 to 50% of your time allocation for the week to this specific vision and what you're doing to fulfill that. And then the rest of the time is going to be working with me or leadership council members or clients or other aspects of the business aspect of Uniting for Action that's um, you know somewhat related to the work that you're doing in your vision. So for example, as you've seen in my conversations, I'm recording the video with the different leadership council members and the different people, as you've seen. So, it looks like this, in terms of the conversation with those people. So again, you're going to imagine that you're going to be having Zoom conversations with the different providers that you need to have conversations with in order to fulfill your vision. You're going to record those Zoom conversations, just like I've been doing. Then you're going to process those conversations again, like I've been doing, that looks something like this, where again, you're going through the recording, you're marking, where certain things are said in the recording so that you can develop, clips out of that. And then with the clips, you're essentially going ahead and categorizing the clips so that again, you can do this with the mind map to map out, where different categories of things should be. But essentially, you're going to be creating web pages that are made up of content, that in part has been developed out of your conversations. So, this is an example of, clips of those conversations that I've had with Angie about the Abundancia project in Costa Rica. So here's the mind map. So again, you'll have a page that looks like this with a mind map of your vision or certain parts of the vision. You'll have some video clips from your conversations that you're having with the different providers or entities that you need to connect with to fulfill the vision. You'll be adding some, text on this page. You can add images. So I'll work with you. I'm going to, as soon as possible, automate the building of these pages. In the meantime, I'll work with you to get your pages together. So again, as you're doing this process for yourself and your own vision, then like I've shared with you, then you're going to be going ahead and working with leadership council members, clients, etc., helping them do the same with their videos and creating web pages and that sort of thing. So again, you can see this is an actual working version, so you can see where for Angie and for this one, and again, we'll start at the top, the Abundancia, Costa Rica, you get into it and you see there's lots of different pieces. There's components, there's concepts, there's prospective locations, and then it gets into more specific details. So again, what that looks like on the page here is here's just like an overview. Then we get into the pitch deck portion of the video, and that's broken out, and that's got some details over here. So again, this portion is only 53 seconds of that, hour-long video that I had with Angie. Here's the investor portion. Again, this portion is 2 minutes and 19 seconds pulled out of that, hour and a half video with her, along with over here a written summary of what's mentioned in that video clip. And again, you have access to all of these pages. I'm getting all of this much more organized on the website right now. So you'll be able to look at this as an example. You'll use it to replicate this process within your own project, and then as you're doing it within your own project, then you'll also be working with others to help them do it within theirs. So I think that's going to be awesome. I think you think so as well, so from what we've talked about. So the main thing at this point is that I want you to, again, create a written proposal that is, specific about what your vision is going to look like, who you're going to be reaching out to, what videos you're going to be creating with them, what content you're going to be creating on these web pages, what purpose that's going to be serving in the world that you want to create. I'm thinking, as I'm saying this, also of connecting you with one of our leadership council members who is the CEO of a disabilities organization, and I think that you can use your public health competencies within her interests, and you can actually work with her on a specific project that can help her. So I think we'll focus on that. So I'll have you connect with her. From your conversations with her, you guys will define this project. Again, you have to think, and I know you've used hours already, and this is where we're going to start mapping out your hours week by week and allocating your hours week by week so we can make sure that we're maximizing all of the use of your time going forward. At the moment, let's just imagine you have 100 hours left. I'm not sure if that's the amount, but let's just imagine you have 100 hours left to provide in the in your capstone. So imagine again between 25 and 50%. So imagine between 25 hours and 50 hours is going to be the total amount that's going to be allocated to this vision and this project in terms of having the meetings, creating the videos, creating the web pages. You want to somehow create some result out of the end of this if possible. So I'm going to connect you with Diane about this. if you guys need help in coming up with the project, I'll jump in. I want to see if you guys can work something out on your own. So with the idea that it's going to be 25 to 50% of your hours, and then you'll come back to me with the proposal for what that looks like, and then I'll see if we'll go forward with the exact plan or tweak it, or we'll see, what we need to do to the plan to get it to where we need it to be. But let's have the intention that we're going to have a finalized plan by a week from today. Of course, it's going to depend on Diane's availability, but I'll send her a message now and encourage her to make time as soon as possible with you. And and the other part, as I'm thinking about it, is like we talked about, since your number of hours is significantly more than Afomia's, I think the easiest way to manage all of this right now is for her to work with you on all of these things and for you to be kind of the supervisor in the situation. So, of course, the two of you will collaborate and talk about ideas and go back and forth and absolutely make it a collaborative process as much as possible. Not that you're dictating everything, but that together you're figuring out what's best and working together. But in the end, she's, because it's your capstone, we have these competency requirements we need to meet, all of that. You're going to direct the action to make sure that you're meeting all your competencies and all of those sorts of things. And Afomia will be supporting with this whole process. And again, keep in mind, same sort of thing for her, that it's going to be between 25 and 50% of her time. And her time, as I seem to recall, is more in the neighborhood of like 3 hours a week, somewhere in that neighborhood. At least it was when we spoke last about it, which was a few weeks ago now, but I assume it's the same. So, anyways, just keep in mind. So, let's just say it's 3 hours, so 25% is going to be what, like 45 minutes. 45 minutes to an hour and a half of her time that you'll have each week for meetings, her working on tasks, that sort of thing. And I'll connect you with Diane. You'll figure out, some ideas, maybe come up with 2 or 3 different ideas for what the project could be, or based around her needs and your competencies and your interests. And then, you can bring them to me. It doesn't have to be 2 or 3 if you think you've got a good one and you think I'll like it and we can improve it. So let's just go through that process as quickly as possible so we can get that finalized, and then that'll kind of help dictate how everything else flows, because we'll start to get you trained up and practiced in having these meetings, in processing the videos, all of that. That's what's going to really get you onboarded quickly to be able to really support what's happening right now with the different clients and the different leadership council members and all of that. So I think that's our best way to go forward at the moment. If you have any comments, feedback, questions, thoughts, please share it with me. And I'm excited to go to this next level with everything, and to start to be, I know we've been a little bit in holding pattern up until now, but I'm, want to make sure that going forward after this week, that everything is really clear. We've got all of your hours outlined. What I want you to do basically is put together an outline using, whatever tools you want, to show me what your anticipated hours are week by week for the rest of the capstone. You can let me know how many hours you've already provided, that, to count towards your 120 minimum, so that we know how many we have left to work with. And then you can show me on probably, I guess, easiest on a calendar, although you could just make it, dates on a page of, how many hours per week, and really forecast, looking at your exam schedules and your other, academic requirements and anything else, whether it's a vacation or whatever that you might have already, an idea of. So really map it out so that we can have as accurate a week by week guide of your hours and availability. And then we can make sure that each week we're maximizing, what there is for you to be working on that week, to get the highest level win-win value out of it for you and for Uniting for Action and whoever else we're working with. So I think that's everything in a nutshell right now. Like I said, any questions, comments, let me know. And I'll get you in touch with Diane as soon as possible, and we will take it from there. Awesome. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.